What's going on, guys? It's Tommy Lamar, and today we're talking about composition and color grading. Let's get right into it. So if you're a Final Cut Pro user, this is definitely for you because that's the NLE that I use to edit primarily. I do use Premiere Pro, but I just grew up using Final Cut Pro and it's of such ease to me, I enjoy using it. I probably will do a one for Premiere Pro, that'll be coming in the future. Now, if you want to know how to color grade, this is for you too. And if you want to know some camera settings for the Panasonic line, G7, any of those carrying that color science, this is for you as well. Alright, so first things first. On my Panasonic G7s, I use natural profile. I do not use Sennheiser D or Sennheiser V. I find that Sennheiser D and natural are the closest in similarity, but there's a little bit more saturation in Sennheiser D than natural. My natural profile uses custom settings. So everything is -5 except for noise reduction, which is -2. The G7, the Panasonic line, they are such crisp cameras. They catch an incredibly sharp image. I primarily shoot everything in 4K. And then if I need to down res it to 1080, I'll do that. But 4K is my choice of what I want to shoot in because I get as much quality into it as possible. And the natural profile with the custom settings really gives me the flattest profile. It's just great. It works wonderfully. So having said that, let's move on. Composition. I'm going to tell you what I hate right up front. If you're a aspiring filmmaker, you think you're a filmmaker, you're getting into filmmaking, you just do video. Do not shoot on a blank white background because it makes your image look like crap. You need to have elements in the background to help tell the story. There should be different things to help relay the feeling, the emotion, whatever it is that you're trying to relate to your viewer. As I showed you in that clip that I put on Instagram, I put Kim in front of a picture in this model home that we were shooting in. And the picture was a great element. It has some bokeh, ever how you say it, on one side. And on the other side, there were these great elements of like wood planking, brick wall, and a bicycle. So it gave really great composition to that particular moment when she received a call. Kim's character is a real estate agent, so it just made great sense in that particular setting of the model home that day. Now, one other thing that I did, I separated her from the wall. And with the 25mm 1.7 lens that I was using, it gave just a little bit more blur to the background image behind her, that picture that I had her in front. And it really created such a great, nice, wonderful look. I was so happy with the finished result. I can tell she was happy with seeing it as well. So, and that's one of the things that as a filmmaker is important to me. I want to tell a great story, but at the same time, I want to portray my actors and actresses in the best possible setting possible. And as long as they're happy, I'm happy. Because I know if they're happy with what's going on with the shot, with the scene, after it's graded, after it looks, then I know the audience is going to be happy. Alright, having said that, let's move on. So the first thing you want to do is balance the color in your image. We brought it in as a flat profile. We see that it's nice and ugly, and we want to bring that beauty back into it. So the first thing you do with Final Cut Pro is in your viewer where you can see your footage. You want to go to your bottom left of that screen and you're going to say Magic Wand. If you click on the Magic Wand, the next menu that shows at the very top is going to say Balance Color. Simply click on that and it changes it from this to this. What you see is that it added just a little bit more color into a little bit of saturation. Nothing to go crazy, nothing wild, but it made sure that basically like a negative, everything was balanced and we're ready to go to our next step. So the next step is going into our color editor. Now, I could use the curves and the wheels that are in there because there's quite a few options under color board. But color board is the one that I primarily want to use with this particular one because I knew if I adjusted my exposure properly, I could add tons of saturation back to the picture because I shot it so flat. So the shadows and the midtones I adjusted to -21 and -33. I felt that those were the best look that it gave the particular image at that point in time. But we're not done with it yet. The next thing that we want to do is take it right on up to the next level, and that is adding saturation back in. So instead of using the exposure tab, we're now going to go over to the saturation tab. I had so much leeway because of this being such a flat profile, I took it up to 74. And that changes it from what you currently see to this. That put a nice amount of color in there, didn't it? Looks pretty spiffy, right? But I wasn't quite done yet. The one last thing that I wanted to do was add, it needs something just a little bit more to give me that cinematicness I wanted. And this is where adjustment layers come into play when you're dealing with LUTs. But let me say this, adjustment layers are great because you can do so much with them. You can put effects in adjustment layers, you can put transitions in adjustment layers, and they sit on top of your footage timeline instead of having to add those things into your footage timeline where you're changing your actual footage. So make as many of your changes outside your footage and leave your footage where it is and do those other minor tweaks there. So I loaded an adjustment layer over top of the footage and then I added a LUT. And you see what the LUT did right here? It changed it from this to this. It just adds a little bit more of that hue tone to the bluish around the black or dark areas of the screen, and it just gives it that perfect thing it needed to give you the cinematic image that you're looking for. I know this is a quick tutorial on it, but the only way to really learn color grading is to jump into color grading and make a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes. There were a lot of things that I did wrong, but it all taught me how to create this great image by making these mistakes. Sometimes you have to create ugly in order to create beautiful. And that's what we're all about here, creating the best possible cinematic image we can for our viewers, right? All right. So there you have it. A nice quick tutorial. Not going to take all your time today. Just want to show you some basics. We're going to come back with some more tutorials and get you further in depth of how to be a great cinematographer, filmmaker, videographer, or just loving your camera and wanting to have it the greatest shot you can. Hey, as I always say, let's go. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on composition and color grading on the Panasonic G7. It is a truly capable camera and I enjoy using it. If you like more of this content, drop me a comment and let me know. Please like if you liked, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you get up-to-date notifications on when new videos drop. It's kind of simple as that, right? New videos coming.